Today on City Setting Brews, why do we do things the way we do things? Hi, I'm Brian, and welcome to City Setting Brews. This is a long time coming, this video right here. A lot of people have asked me, why do you do it this way? Why do you do it that way? And I don't mean why in theory or in practice of making a brew. I mean to talk about additives, chemicals, all the extra stuff that people seem to think you have to have in your mead or in any brew in order to make it good. I even made up a list, okay? That's how you know this is serious. Today, in a forum on Facebook, they didn't attack me. I don't want to use the word attack, but they tried to show me how I was wrong. A lot of the things that I do. And it got me thinking that this was time for this video to happen. And let me just go over some of the bullet points of what I did. I've been asked, why? Why don't you use yeast nutrients? Why don't you use potassium sorbate? Why don't you add this? Why don't you add that? Here's why. If you read the ingredient label of any food product that you can buy in the store, I'm going to bet 90% of them have ingredients you can't even pronounce. And you know why they're there? They're not there to make it taste better. They're there to make it look more appealing, or to give it shelf life, or to make it cheaper. That's it. That's why those chemicals are there. If it wasn't for those three factors, most of our food would be very natural and very fresh, or it would spoil almost instantly. So some of it makes sense, and I'm not really refuting those things. Now, I personally much rather make my own food. Processed food is probably the worst invention in humankind. It may be simple, it may be quick, but it certainly is not healthy. And that's been proven in a lot of studies. So going off of that mindset, why, when I know I can make a mead, a beer, a cider, or a wine, would I want to add stuff to it like that? That stuff I can't, I can pronounce it, but you know what I mean? Stuff that just, there's no reason why add it. It just doesn't need to be there. Another thing is, I've been told I'm wrong. I've been told that everything that I do is wrong. I'm giving out bad information. I have to disagree with that. In my time of brewing, which is several years and hundreds of brews, I have literally only had 2 go bad. And they were both peach, for one, and I messed up. They were because I did things wrong. I know what I did wrong. One of them, I left it with fruit for months. Bad idea, but it was busy season with our day job and I just couldn't get to it and it went bad. The other one, I don't actually remember. I think like a stopper popped off and it sat in a closet for like a month that way and I didn't notice, something along those lines. But people tell me that I'm wrong, and here's the thing. We don't say that using chemicals is wrong. We really don't. What we say is that's not the way we want to do it. I don't hate you if you want to use chemicals. I'm not even going to tell you that you're doing it wrong. I'm saying you don't have to do it that way. There's a big difference. That comes with the concept of responsibility. This guy on the forum said, being that you can reach a lot of people, you have a responsibility. And he's right. And I take that responsibility very, very seriously. Every time I sit down to make a video, you know what's going through my head? If I tell this to someone, are they going to do something wrong? Are they going to take my words and twist them into something that they were never meant to be? Are they going to make them or their family or friends sick because of advice that I give? I think about those things all the time. So before someone says that I don't take responsibility, I do. Okay? I just want to make that very, very clear. This isn't meant to be an attack on anyone, this video. This is really meant to show you that there's a lot of ways to do things. Ours is just one of them, and I'm explaining why I feel the way we do. If you follow our ideas and rules and theories, you should be just fine, okay? This stuff won't kill you unless you know. Like if there's purple and green stuff floating in your brew, don't drink it, okay? Short of that, there's not a whole lot else that can really go wrong. If it made vinegar, vinegar is kind of good. You can just use it as vinegar. It's okay. Which brings me to something else, and this is another bullet point that I have here. There's more than one right way to do it. People seem to think that it's either this way or this way. I disagree, okay? Some things about that, like people say you should stabilize your brew. All right, well, why should I stabilize my brew at the end? Now, some people stabilize to stop fermentation at a certain point, and they're more than welcome to do that. I choose not to. Other people stabilize so that they can bottle it away and it won't explode. Well, if you do it the right way and you let it ferment out, it won't explode anyway. So it's a moot point. It's just two different ways of achieving the same thing. Mine doesn't use extra additives, and this guy was saying that the use of the word chemicals is basically a bad word to say. Well, and you know what? He's got a point, because chemical means anything, really anything. I mean, water's a chemical, star sand's a chemical. So we do use some, but we don't use all of them. And that just because you can use something doesn't mean you should or you have to. And this brings up a whole different point. What was said was science has progressed, okay? Years and years ago, we didn't know any better. Today, we know better, so we should do better. We should use these modern ingredients and modern additives and modern methods to make better. Well, you know what? I disagree with that. And that's my opinion. This is my personal choice on how I want to do things. I want it to be simple. I want it to be fun. I want it to be repeatable to a point, and I want it to taste good. Those are my criteria when it comes to brewing. So in that, there are things that I need. For instance, star sand, some sort of sanitization. If I did not sanitize all my stuff, I'd probably have a lot more failures with my brews. That's just common sense. And that is one thing that modern science has actually improved on, is making things cleaner. No argument there. Some of the other things, nutrients. This is a big one. People are always saying that honey doesn't have all the ingredients the yeast needs in order to make mead. Okay, well, it may not have it all to do it in a certain time frame. It may not have it all to do it without some amount of fusels, maybe some amount of off flavors. Well, here's the thing. No matter what you do, you're getting fusels. You're going to get all that stuff. It happens every single time. Sure, there's less. But you know how you get rid of them? Age. They all age out. Okay? Sometimes it takes a month. Sometimes it takes a year. The worse the offender, the more you need to. But we're talking about straight honey mead here, where you just take yeast, water, honey. I'm pretty sure I've never actually done that. So anything else that you add in there is going to add some amount of nutrition for that yeast, okay? But do not believe for a second that you can't make mead without yeast nutrient or yeast energizer. Those things just speed up the process and may prevent some amount of off flavors and fusels. May, not always. We actually did a video on this and showed where we chose the one that didn't have nutrients in it. It didn't taste as chemically. It didn't taste as bad. So I just don't understand. This has always been an issue in the 21 months that our channel's been going, where people seem to tell us that we're wrong and you can't do it, and you can't do it, and you can't do it. And I'm not trying to brag here, but 50,000 people out there watch our videos, and they prove every day that you can. I get thousands of messages from people who say they would never have even started making mead, wine, cider, beer if it wasn't for our videos, because all the other videos out there make it far too complicated. They use words and chemicals and things like that that people don't understand and don't have time to understand. So that brings me to my last point. And this is going to be the end of the video, and I'm going to stop my rant. I know it came out a lot more negative than I really wanted, okay? Let me just explain. I actually wanted this to be a positive thing, but the gist is there's more than one right way. Our way is not wrong. And let me leave you with this. If I can inspire someone to take honey and take some other fruit or something, or spices or whatever, put them in a jug with some yeast and some water, and make a brew, have a fun time doing it, enjoy the process of doing it, not feel overwhelmed or confused, and at the end, they have a product that they are proud to serve to their family and their friends, and their family and their friends all say how great it is. How wrong can we be? Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.